Valley, about 30 miles north of Philadelphia, sits this marvelous gem of American gymnastics. Hello, everyone. I'm Lou Tilley, and CN8 continues to bring you some of the most interesting sports venues in all of the East Coast. And tonight is one of the most important events in an Olympic year, as some of the young ladies and some of the elite athletes in gymnastics take that first step. With me tonight is one of the greats, and maybe the all-time great in women's gymnastics, Shannon Miller. A pleasure to be back with you again tonight.
Thank you.
We'll see some excellent athletes performing here.
Absolutely, and Parkette has a history of turning out top athletes, world champions, Olympians. Two of those athletes that are going to be vying for a position on the Olympic team this year are Tia Orlando and Nicole Harris. Tia Orlando, unfortunately, will not be competing tonight. She has a stress fracture in her foot, but her coaches just felt that even though it wasn't too severe, it would be more important to keep her healthy for the rest of the season. Of course, her teammate Nicole Harris will be competing tonight, and last year she was doing awesome, second going into national championships, and ended up breaking her hand on kind of a simple move on uneven bars. Had a surgery, had a screw put in, and now she's back in action. She's ready to go.
Shannon, it's good to be with you again. We did the men's event from Temple University a few weeks ago, but you'll feel a little more comfortable with the women in action tonight. I don't know about this guy, but I'm sure he is. If he's anywhere near gymnastics and anywhere near a microphone and camera, Bart Connor. I feel just honored to be on the same dais with the two of you here tonight.
Thank you so much, Lou.
And it's an interesting meet we'll be seeing here tonight.
We certainly will, and there's a young lady that we want to talk about because she's a fascinating story. Courtney Kupets is her name. Now, she was the national champion last year, world champion the year before on the uneven bars, and everything was going well for her. She led the U.S. team into the preliminary session of the World Championships, and then in training before the finals, she tore her Achilles tendon, and she wasn't able to participate in the final session. The U.S. women went on at the World Championships to win the gold medal. She has a gold medal for her effort in that event, but she had to go right into the surgery and start her long comeback trail to hopefully make that Olympic team in 2004. I talked with her coach, Kelly Hill, and she said she'll be doing routines tonight on bars and on the balance beam, and she'll be doing some easier dismounts so she can take it easy on that Achilles. They're just pacing her right along, and they think right now she's more than 50% of her way back towards her world-class shape, and if she can regain that shape, she should surely be a member of that Olympic team.
What's wrong with this picture, folks? Shannon Miller and Bart Connor, and I'm here just to guide you through. It should be a fascinating opportunity for us to look ahead at the Olympic team of tomorrow tonight, right here on CN8. We'll be back right after this from Allentown, Pennsylvania. From the Allentown, Pennsylvania Parkette's Gymnastics Center. It's the 2004 Parkette Invitational, and we watch the young athletes marching in front of a nicely assembled crowd, as well as the Quakertown Varsity Singers with a beautiful musical accompaniment. I'm Lou Tilley along with Bart Connor and Shannon Miller. CN8 brings you the 30th annual Parkette's International Invitational. And happy to thank our sponsors: Coca-Cola Bottling of the Lehigh Valley, Carrabba's Italian Grill, the Comcast Network, CN8, Joe Corby's Pizza Fundraising and Grandma Corby's Cookies Fundraising Program, Elite Sportswear, Fast Sign Company, Lamar Advertising, The Morning Call, and Sacred Heart Hospital. We'll be back with the start of this year's Parkette's Invitational right after this. Parkette Invitational from Allentown, Pennsylvania. CN8 Sports on the scene. Lou Tilley, Shannon Miller, and Bart Connor. And our first athlete that we'll be watching among the four: the vault, the uneven parallel bars, the balance beam, the floor exercise. I'd say it's a three-ring circus, but it's four. But we'll try to give it as much form as we can for you from our spot here in the broadcast booth. Our first event, we'll be watching the vault, Shannon.
Up first is going to be Marcia Newby, and she's an excellent gymnast. I saw her at training camp last year. Really up and coming, vying for a position on the 2004 Olympic team. So this is her one of the first meets of the year. So we'll see how she does on vault.
She was a member of the gold medal winning team at the Pan American Games this past summer.
Wow, what a stride.
Nice Yurchenko full twist and a great landing.
Beautiful execution.
And she was actually 6th on vault at those at the last U.S. National Championships.
Here it is again. Look at that power, acceleration.
Little leg split in the air, but that landing was near perfect.
We're going to talk about this all day long. That vault is a 9.4 start value, which means that's a maximum score she can get for that vault based on its difficulty value. All the vaults are rated in a certain degree of difficulty.
There she goes on her second run.
Another Yurchenko full, even better landing this time. It's a great way to start a competition.
Really like her technique and execution's beautiful.
Nina Kim now on the uneven parallel bars out of Texas and the World Olympic team. This is really an international event. We have one team here from Canada tonight.
Nice jump over mount to begin. Stalled her 1.5. Oh, a little trouble there. Now can she pull it back together? At this point, you're kind of making up the routine as you go along. It's very difficult to get back on track because you're facing the wrong way. And she's just having a lot of trouble.
Judges recognize that, of course.
Absolutely, they recognize it, and the other thing is it's tough to get through a bar routine as it is. And that's probably what happened there. Your arms just get really tired by the end of a routine, and she's added a lot of skills.
She's really more successful on floor and vault. We'll get to see her on those events later. She was 16th in the all-around at the U.S. Championships last year, and she is also one of those athletes who has Olympic dreams in mind.
Takes a pause and will finish out her routine as best possible.
And of course, she had 30 seconds to get back up on the bars.
Oh.
That was her reverse head. And it is just so tough to get up after a fall, and she's had multiple problems throughout this routine, and it's going to be tough. We'll have to watch her throughout the night and see how she fares in the other events.
How discouraging once negative thoughts get into your head. And she finishes up gamely, Nina Kim.
And Lou, you mentioned at the top of the show, this is very early in the season for these gymnasts, so they're just starting to ramp up their competitive spirit right now to prepare for the upcoming championships and Olympic trials, and so this is just the beginning of the year for them.
Next up on the uneven parallel bars, Lindsay Van Eckel.
Now this is a spectacular event for Lindsay Van Eykel. She is great on bars and beam. She's 17 years old and terrific technique and style. And you see her coach there setting the bars. That's Evgeny Marchenko. He comes originally from Kazakhstan and he moved to the States. He was a champion 5 times over, a world champion in the sport of sports acrobatics, which is a kind of a version of adagio, competitive adagio performance. And he
Mark Connor already dazzling us with his wide world of sports knowledge.
Well, he and his partner, Valerie Liukin, also a great gymnast from Kazakhstan, they opened the World Olympic Gymnastics Academy down there in Plano, Texas, and in just a few short years have already produced some incredible gymnasts.
Of course, since the curtain has come tumbling down, is this good for American gymnastics with the influence of the great coaching?
Well, so far last year he had 2 gymnasts on the World Championship team that did very well, Holly Weiss and Carly Patterson, so they're doing very well down there.
And we're underway with Van Eykel, Lindsay.
She has a new move she said she may go for here. It could be a 2.5 twister.
I love her lines. She has such gorgeous form on the Eva bars.
Wow.
Everything right down to the point.
All right, she did a 1.5 to a full. She didn't do the complete 2.5 twist, but nice transition to the low bar.
Love that.
Setting up for her dismount. Nice double front.
Lindsay Van Eykel from the team from Texas here. By the way, Marcia Newby on the vault scored 9.575. After 2 runs, and let's take a look back on the finish of this routine.
She's had a rough couple of years. She has a scar on her right hip. You'll notice that she had a hamstring injury where the hamstring came loose from the hip bone, and they had to reattach it